What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Ego rumor mill. Let's talk about it. So, the mega fight, second biggest of the year. I told you guys it would be that just behind Mayweather Pacquiao. Now, these aren't official set in stone numbers, but it is looking like it is estimated. The forecast for Cotto versus Canelo on HBO pay-per-view has done about 900,000 pay-per-view buys. So I want to talk about it. Now, in the world of streaming and the modern technology, a lot of people aren't doing the numbers that they were doing back when De La Hoya was first coming up, back when Mayweather was first doing pay-per-views. Maybe it's the magnitude of the fights, maybe it's the build-up has a portion, but definitely piracy and streaming has a significant portion in that. Let's talk about it. 900,000, that's solid. It's more realistic than the number that Oscar, I think when the fight was first announced, Oscar was saying it would do like 2 million to 3 million, and I didn't see anything like that. As we know, Mayweather Pacquiao just absolutely crushed it and set a box office record. It's going to be very, very hard to make. And 900,000, that's just shy, and this is the early forecast, so maybe it gets bumped up or inflated a little bit past the 1 million mark. It would be nice to see this fight do a million and change. So pretty good numbers. The only thing I will say is the undercard. The undercard, it didn't, on paper, it didn't have the star power that would have enticed people to buy. Because the best fight of the night on the undercard to me was Francisco Vargas fight versus Miria, I think it was. That was just a crazy fight. I didn't get a chance to do a post fight, but it was absolutely extraordinary fight. Come from behind victory for Vargas. Both fighters got hurt in that fight. Crazy ending. Sensational stuff. But on paper, most people, I didn't hear a peep about, oh yeah, I can't wait to see the Francisco Vargas fight. Rigondeaux was thrown on the card last minute. Andre Ward was pulled off last minute. So I think for the buildup, they could have did a better job. Even though it turned out the co-main event was a barn burner, people didn't know it in advance. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a ready-made fight like a Lucas Matisse, Ruslan Provodnikov that people know about. So I think they could have increased the star power. I made the suggestion earlier. Instead of having a quadruple header in December, I would have pulled like the Bryant Jennings, Luis Ortiz, and put that on the undercard. And I think that would have helped the numbers. And then the other thing is the promotion could have been a bit better with both of the mega fights. Mayweather Pacquiao, I don't like the events that were close to the public. Same thing with Cotto Canelo. The face-off was kind of dry. So they did good by getting 900,000 because I don't think the buildup was as intense and as much of a mega fight as it could have been. So hopefully they work on it and realize that with streaming, you got to maybe do more, make it more theatrical, maybe make some more drama, do an extra episode of 24/7. Because at the end of the day, this is a business and you want to succeed. 900,000 is definitely succeeding. That's about double what Mayweather versus Berto did, but that wasn't a fight that people were happy about or looking forward to. It's shitting on Triple G versus Lemieux, which did 97,000 buys to about 150,000. So definitely a solid number. And the fight itself was a good fight. Now, the other thing that I have to address is the comparison. When Mayweather fought Pacquiao, people act like that was just the worst thing in boxing. It ruined it. Cotto Canelo was not nonstop action to me either. Like, it was a fun fight, but I also enjoyed Mayweather Pacquiao. So I don't understand, and I don't know if Cotto Canelo, again, it wasn't even the best fight on the card. To me, I thought the Vargas fight was clearly the most action-packed fight. So it was a fun fight. I'm not complaining. I don't have any regrets spending money, but a lot of the mega fights and the fights that are advertised as the nonstop action and slugfest, they really aren't that. You know what I mean? Matisse versus Provodnikov, that wasn't a slugfest. You look at David Lemieux versus Triple G, that wasn't two power punchers going balls to the wall. Triple G was working behind a jab, and David Lemieux did nothing, so it was very one-sided. Cotto Canelo, you had two guys with a lot of pride for themselves, for their reputation, their resume, their countries, and neither one of them wanted to make a mistake. Again, you notice, this is the other thing that I hate talking about to casuals with, is notice The big Mayweather-Pacquiao fight and Cotto-Canelo fight, neither fight had any knockdowns. Neither fight had any knockouts. But when it came time for Mayweather-Pacquiao, people were like, oh, Floyd, he should have pressed for the knockout. Oh, this was weak. He should have went for a knockout since he was dominating. That is not how boxing works. You're not always going to get a knockout. When you're at the elite level, you usually see knockouts and knockdowns decreased because you got a first round Hall of Famer like Cotto. He was fighting when Canelo was drinking Similac. You know what I mean? When he was still getting teased about his red hair and shit. Cotto's a legend. So he's an elite fighter. He's proven. And then Canelo had a lot of momentum. He was hungry. He was focused. That's why you didn't see knockdowns or knockouts in either fight. People need to stop with that knockout. You're not going to get a knockout. When you have two evenly matched skilled fighters, neither one of them want to make a mistake. Neither one of them want to lose. Neither one of them want to do something that is going to jeopardize their chances of securing that victory. And that's what happens. Like if Maidana is knocking out everybody that he faces in tournaments in Argentina, that's different. But when he starts fighting Eric Morales's, guys from Mexico, guys from around the world like Adrian Broner from Cincinnati, you notice he doesn't knock out everybody. Mayweather, American champion. That's what happens. You could be a knockout artist, but as your level of talent and the competitiveness of the fight, when you're in there with an evenly matched person like James DeGale versus Andre Durrell, like, yeah, one person got hurt in the fight, but notice James DeGale had knocked out, I think, like 6 of 8 of his last opponents or something crazy like that, but he wasn't able to knock down or knock out the guy he knocked down twice and hurt. That's what happens when you fight people on the same playing field in terms of talent. So I just had to make that clear. Cotto Canelo was a good fight. 900,000 is solid. It's not always going to be knockdowns and a knockout. Neither one of them wanted to make a mistake. Now, Cotto did return to Puerto Rico, and I guess he spoke with some of the news media. I got to cover this real quick. And he said he believes he beat Canelo 8 rounds to 12. Now, I did a video on the channel, and I did a prediction, 7 reasons video. Check that out if you guys want to see. And I also did a post video that I dropped yesterday saying why Miguel Cotto lost to Saul Canelo Alvarez. I think Cotto is a legend. I appreciate everything he's done for the sport. I love Cotto, but he's tripping. He did not win this fight 8 rounds to 12. Again, watch the video. I break down in detail why I believe Cotto lost to Canelo, and I can't agree with it. Even if you thought you won 8 rounds, name the 8 rounds that Cotto beat Canelo. I just purely, objectively don't see that. I don't see that at all. Like, he didn't dominate any. There is not one round, in my opinion, that Cotto dominated where Canelo was not doing any good work. Versus, you look at other fights, there were clear, like James DeGale, since I used that already, James DeGale and Andre Durrell. There were certain rounds that you could not have scored for Andre Durrell. And then there were certain rounds that you could not have scored for James DeGale. They were that definitive. This fight was, both guys were trying, but I didn't see Cotto ever hurt Canelo. It was like he was running into a brick wall. The weight advantage, the size, the youth, everything, the power. So he couldn't really even push him back. And in addition to that, there was not one Cotto round where, even Cotto had rounds against Mayweather where Cotto clearly beat Mayweather in that round. But I really didn't see many definitive rounds in this fight where you could give it to Cotto, where Canelo just let off the gas and really wasn't doing anything. You know what I mean? Canelo had a good pace. He was landing some thudding shots. Round 8, some people scored it for Canelo, some people scored it for Cotto. But both guys did work. But I think Canelo did some good damage in round 8. So I can't agree with Cotto saying he won 8 rounds to 12. That's just my opinion. Drop it in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. 900,000, just under $1 million, is the early forecast for this particular fight. Let me know what you think of those numbers. Did you order the fight? Did you stream it? Let me know those details. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego, signing off.